everybody, it's me, Crafty, and welcome back. My last video, after my last video, I went and I, not that same night, but the next day, I performed a kind of a real deep type cleansing ceremony and whatnot, so I'll share that with you. And, you know, I was a total slacker, is what it all kind of came down to. Like, yeah, I'd maybe smudge maybe once a week kind of thing, but you know what, I wasn't really on top of things, and I slacked off. You know, I was doing a lot of traveling out of town and blah 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 blah. I can give you a million excuses, and I just, you know, put my own needs on the back burner, whether it was magical or whatever. So, which is really stupid, bad, Crafty. You know, it was so stupid. And when you don't really take the time or make the time to do what you need to do, then you weaken yourself, and you know, you're more susceptible to negativity kind of seeping into your whole whatever, opening yourself up to sicknesses and whatnot, and stuff like that. So if you work in a profession where there's a lot of like negativity, a lot of stress, that type of thing, something like this might be a good idea. My mom has a ritual bath every day after work, literally. Where she works, it's pretty intense and pretty stressful, and that's what she does every day after work. And I wasn't doing that. Like, I wasn't, you know, really doing that, and it was really stupid of me. So, lesson learned. Don't put yourself on the back burner, okay? Which is what I was doing. So, for those of you that work with ritual knives, you'll need your knife. Now, some people don't have, you know, ritual knives for various reasons. Some people, you know, maybe you're not old enough to work with a knife. Maybe you have really small children in the home, and you're just, you know, scared that having tools like that could pose a risk of injury to the kids. Totally understandable. One of my friends, she doesn't use knives at all, and that's cool, that's fine. But people tend to have a butcher knife, right, somewhere to chop veggies or whatever. And where I learned this from, it was actually, they don't even use ritual knives. They will use a household knife that's fairly sharp, and it works pretty darn good. So how it was explained to me was that, okay, you know where your solar plexus area is, kind of like right underneath in the center of your rib cage there, like right underneath it, that every person we come into contact with, any person that we have any type of relationship with, family, friends, lovers, co-workers, whatever, there's like these cords that, or these like kind of like these strings of whatever that go from us to them and from them to us type of thing. Even a stranger you see down the street, it's kind of like these little fine strands of energy kind of go out like tentacles, right, to other people, and that it's really good to cut that away on a regular basis, because if you don't, and if there's a lot of negativity, especially if you're around a lot of stress or really emotional people or whatever, that area, your solar plexus area, will get clogged, and you know, you're putting yourself at risk for all kinds of stuff. It could be like psychic attack, it could be illness, it could be stress, it could be, you know, you just wear yourself down, that type of thing. So you need to kind of cut that away. So what some people do is, if they work in a magic circle, they'll cast that. Some people don't work in circles. Go with whatever your tradition is. Some people will, you know, smudge the area or cleanse it in some way. Do what feels best for you in this regard. And then what you do, there's no actual cutting, by the way, but you visualize all those cords coming out from like your solar plexus area, these little fine strands of energy and whatnot. You can hear my cat, right? And then, you know, of course you're gonna call in divinity, however you choose to envision it, Lord, Lady, God, Goddess, whatever name you want to give them, him, it, her, whatever, your ancestors, spirit guides, allies, those beings and entities that are there to help guide you and protect you and whatnot. And you will ask them to help cleanse you of all negativity, to clear away and remove the obstacles and the clog, if you will, to bless you and protect you and to give you strength and that type of thing. And then you take your knife and you run it down the front of your body, and then you focus on that area around your solar plexus, and, you know, really visualize, or if you're able to see the energy, like, you just, you know, cut that away. It doesn't sever your relationships or anything like that, but you're just kind of cutting that. And, you know, when you see that person again, that little cord will go reaching out to them again. It won't stop you from having relationships with anybody, so don't worry about that. And then what you do, for those of you who've smudged, some people will, like, you know, they kind of smudge with the smoke and around their heads and their faces and their chests and bodies and whatnot. It's kind of like smudging with a knife. You're not actually burning any incense well, you can, but first of all, you want to clear away everything. So instead of using a feather or incense to, like, you know, smudge, say, your arm, or, you know, and you start from head to toe, you know, you'd go around your head, you go down your arm like this, and you work from top to bottom, and then you just cut it all the way. And what you're doing is you're visualizing cutting away all the negativity, all whatever that might be. And then you can follow through with smudging with what I used was a mixture of frankincense, cedar, sage, and myrrh, and a tiny pinch of asafoetida. Because you know what I talked about in that video before about asafoetida, it stinks like bad. Just a little tiny pinch of that, because you don't want to smell like shite, do you? And then you're pretty much done. And then I just followed through with like a cleansing shower type of thing and whatnot, and immediately, like, doing that, I felt like way better. So that one, like with the knife and whatnot, that cleansing, you know, is kind of a more severe, not severe, but more stronger cleansing than just, you know, smudging once a week sort of thing. Really good for people that work in really high stress environments, police officers, firefighters, social workers, mental health workers, teachers, you know, anybody that works in any kind of environment that's really stressful. If you got a lot of negative coworkers, or if you come from a real pessimistic type family, or if you're living with somebody who's just, you know, a real pain in the ass, great way to just kind of cleanse away all that junk and get rid of it, and you know, then you start fresh. And I'll be using that technique a hell of a lot more often, because, like, yeah, I learned my lesson. So yeah, and look, I'm under 10 minutes. Yay! Right on. So to everybody who wrote to me and everything, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your well wishes.